Same way it does. Good morning, KC.
Good morning, Dan.
I believe Ashley's got an invitation this morning.
Let us bow our heads in prayer. Dear Lord, bless our Gate City Rotary Club as we enter the final days before the fundraiser. We pray that the fundraiser will be a resounding success and a good thing for our community. Bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies and us to your service. Amen. Amen. Pledge. But it looks good so far. So, I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we'll say the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do.
Is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Ashley, got a Rotary moment?
Well, I'm kind of filling in for Erica this morning, so I didn't have much time.
Did Erica send a moment?
Yeah, I think Erica's moment would be having a lot of support as she faces her liver situation. But my personal one is I have really enjoyed doing the Family of Rotary role this year. It's been good. I'm glad to be that liaison for the club, so it's been a real enjoyable experience for me.
Matthew, you got anybody here today?
Morning, everyone. We have 38 Rotarians here today, not counting our two guests. That's 40, I guess. One of our guests is Sam Hummel from the Crescent Club. Terry Ball. There she is.
Thanks, Matthew.
You're welcome, Deb.
Terry, did you?
Good morning. Good morning. I have a Rotary moment. Just got back from France maybe 2 weeks ago, and our club, I'm the Summit Rotary, and our club has a sister club relationship with the club in France. And we attended their district conference. And I met a fellow Rotarian who is our district governor, and he asked me to help him find a match for a friend of the family, for a 17-year-old male that wants to do a summer exchange. Now we're talking this summer, so there's not a whole lot of time. And I know a lot of you probably, if you know 17-year-olds, they've already got a lot going on in the summer, planned for the summer. But this is an opportunity, and if anybody knows of someone that might be interested, just let me know.
I may have a job for him. I don't know if I can put him up or not. we will be happy to do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Dale, did I get older this week? Or last week?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we had one last week. One person, Cheryl David, on May 8th. We don't have anybody getting older this week. But we had a member anniversary on the 15th. Chip Person, it will be 12 years.
Oh, wow.
That flew by.
And,
When you're having fun.
and Carrie and Guy Ravondo, married 17 years on the 15th.
All right.
And Kelly and Kelly Harrell, 24 years on the 16th.
Wow.
Ashley, do we have a health and happiness report, or how is Erica?
Yeah, how's Erica? So I had lunch with Erica earlier this week, and we talked a little bit about her surgery for, I think everyone's in the loop, but she's having she's helping her cousin, who she also told me she really helped raise. So this is a very close family member of hers who is 29, 30 years old, started to go into liver failure, and they said he would die within 2 years. She's a match. So she's going up to Baltimore to have 60% of her liver removed. She'll be in Baltimore for a month. And so we talked about when we met, you know, what, not just the logistics, but her concerns. And I think her biggest concern is her girls and making sure they're okay. And it's a long time for a mama bear to be away from her cubs, even if her cubs are teenagers. That's a long time. So they're gonna have another family member stay with the girls, and they just need some meals during the week between May 23rd and June the 9th. We counted 11 meals, so I'm hoping that with the club, we can handle that. There's going to be a drop-off point with the family member that's taking care of the girls. It's at a daycare center kind of out near the Coliseum Boulevard. So I'm going to put that together today. I'm going to go ahead and send out the sign-up sheet and see if we can get people signed up for meals today. And I'll put the dietary information there because there are some restrictions as far as pork and beef and stuff. So I'll send all that information today. Just keep Erica, Bo, their family, the cousin in your thoughts and prayers.
Fantastic. Thanks, Ashley. Ralph, anything going on this week?
I'd just like to talk to the club this morning. After last night's dream of our 20 in attendance and 15,000 in debt, this is what I'm dreaming about. It's very refreshing to have everybody come and see me this morning and giving their money for tickets. Like Chris said, I thought I was going to be done today, but guess what? I'm open till 6:30 until Saturday night. We'll have plenty of tickets and raffle tickets at the door, so people want to buy. A lot of people want to buy these tickets online. I don't want to be a buzzkill, but they can show up at the gate and pay retail instead of paying $12 or whatever. So that, and we will have plenty of retail. And one of the good news and bad news, we've actually sold out the capacity for the VIP, which is very nice. But that being said, I don't know how many more sponsors I can take. Are there any other sponsors, by show of hands, that might be coming in that you're thinking? So I can be prepared and possibly get some tickets printed out? I hate to say that's a good sign. Unfortunately, yeah, it's a good sign. I mean, we have sold out our sponsors as far as capacity upstairs. So, Gate City, y'all did it again, man. Thank you so much for all your help.
Way to go, Ralph.
Well done, Ralph. Buster, we got happy dollars?
Have we got happy dollars? You know, I've been sitting here. Guys, stand up. I want you to stand up. Now, is that a flea on your shirt? No, it's a crawfish. Well, Dr. Andress has been really nervous. That looks like a flea.
No, they have a department store in New Orleans called Pearl.
Okay.
They put a crawfish on there.
It looks like a flea.
Anyway, Tuesday night, my 14-year-old son participated in the Guilford County Track Championship. And his event, 1,600 and 800. And he's not as good at the mile, so he decided he was going to skip that one and just do the 800. And his personal best so far this year has been a 2-minute, 24-second half mile. Wow. Which is pretty fast. So he went out there and really put the afterburners on. Finished in 2 minutes, 20 seconds, came in first place, and got the gold medal.
All right. All right.
The only thing faster than that's Chip and his number.
Chip.
I got one. Been waiting for the numbers to come back. My child's not the fastest, as everybody knows, and he's not the best football player, but a couple of years ago he got beat up on the football field and decided to turn his attention towards academics instead. Couldn't get into Carolina, Buster. I mean, that sort of screwed the whole family thing up. But he ended up in state as a joke in the forestry department, where he is #1 in forestry academically, first semester and semester. He is #1, that's out of 11 people. #1 in natural resource management. I think that's out of about 500 people. And #1 in the freshman class, 4,302 people first semester, only 3,007 second semester. He is the top dog, NC State. They've offered him 2 scholarships now, and he's off to British Columbia with his professors to meet up with the Swedish chainsaw thing.
Wake up in the middle of the night and go, what the hell happened?
I'm wondering whose child he is.
This is for my buddy Chip and his new glasses today. It adds about 6 points to his IQ. And so if you've been thinking about investing, today is the day. And you need to get in on this, folks.
Hi, everybody. So I have $200. My first $100 is to you guys. And I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for supporting me through all my endeavors and for doing me with the Violent Scholarship. And you guys are an awesome community. I just love y'all.
No.
And the second one is I'm graduating.
Let's save me a buck.
That's your dollar.
So I think I had my first viral Facebook post. That was whenever I announced yesterday that our school was able to use the donation money we've been collecting all year to buy a van. We got it wrapped, so we have a van that we're able to use for summer camp, which really, if we hadn't been able to get the van, we wouldn't have been able to do a summer camp because you have to do pretty much daily trips in summer camp, which will then help us be able to leverage those donation dollars and turn it into even more money to support the school for next year, because the summer camps are huge money makers for schools. So thanks for all y'all's support on that.
This $100 is, a lot of you remember my daughter Alexandra through Interact. She is a co-curator at the Pony Museum of Glass, and today is her opening exhibition of the Blashka, glass blowing whatevers. And she was recently written up, or her exhibition was written up in the New York Times.
Oh, wow.
But thank you. As the club knows, we do 2 rival scholarships a year, and we had 3 extremely good candidates this year. And our buddy right here came in this morning and gave us a check, one on his own. So he has funded the 3rd one for the whole club. Awesome.
Well, Grandpappy, he was talking to this young fellow, and he said, could I borrow a newspaper? And the guy went, what is wrong with you, old man, a newspaper? Nobody uses a newspaper anymore. Everybody uses one of these. And he stuck out his iPad. Grandpappy said, that fly never knew what hit him.
Jimmer, got some for us?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
I would like to invite Guy Robondo and Cooper Trotter to the front of the room, please.
I'm here today, Chip.
And your pen is too. All right, so I wasn't sure I was going to be doing this morning, but anyway, I brought it back again. Paul Harris once said, perhaps dreaming is not so bad if one dreams great dreams and then makes them come true. In Rotary, we make dreams a reality through extraordinary projects and activities here and all around the world. These projects and activities would not be possible without the generous support of Rotarians and their friends for our foundation. The Rotary Foundation recognizes those individuals who contributed $1,000 by designating them a Paul Harris Fellow. For each additional $1,000 given by a Paul Harris Fellow to the Rotary Foundation, a sapphire is added to their Paul Harris Fellow pin. Today, we honor 2 Rotarians and dedicated friends of the Rotary Foundation, whose generosity has helped enable Rotary's worldwide network of humanitarians to implement projects which help vaccinate children against polio and other serious diseases. We help teach adults and children to read and write. We give women microloans and vocational training that they might support their families and themselves in a dignified way. We give teachers and school children and other people in indigent areas access to toilet facilities and clean drinking water. We've packed hundreds of thousands of meals for the hungry and the disaster-stricken, and we, very importantly, support scholars who study ways to prevent maternal and child mortality. Today, I would like for us to recognize Cooper Trotter and Guy Rabondo, our newest multiple Paul Harris Fellows, for enabling Rotary to make positive impact on individuals, families, and entire communities. On their behalf, I offer sincere appreciation for your generosity. We have 2 +1 pins, so in each sapphire is an extra 1,000 was given. Thank you, gentlemen, very much for your generosity in helping the Rotary Foundation achieve its goals.
All right, so this morning we're going to be hearing from Roberta Hawthorne. She is the program manager at Reading Connections, and Reading Connections is one of the groups that is supported by Gate City Rotary's grants. She oversees the programs at Reading Connections. She has, well, the programs are adult basic education and English for speakers of other languages. She's also heavily involved in the family literacy, health literacy, and detention center literacy programs. Roberta holds a degree in Spanish and International Studies from Elon University, and she recently earned a certificate in Spanish-English medical interpreting from Forsyth Tech. And she's been with Reading Connections since 2011. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Good morning, everyone. I mentioned to some of you earlier today that our executive director, Jenny Gore, was supposed to be here to address you this morning. Unfortunately, she came down with a bug and is under the weather, so you're stuck with me instead. But it's certainly my gain because I've been really happy to be here with you this morning and hear about all the great things you have going on in your community. And I really appreciate having this opportunity to speak with you. Reading Connections, as you may or may not know, has been a big part of our community for about 25 years now. We were founded in 1990, and at that point we were just really a hotline in a church basement that was trying to become a resource for people in the Greensboro area who realized they were struggling with literacy. Their struggles with reading and writing were holding them back, preventing them from being the people they wanted to be in our community. Since 1990, Reading Connections has grown and changed in some really incredible ways. And now we're happy to say we're serving about 1,000 students every year, and that's throughout Guilford County. So we've grown, we've expanded, we've added new programs. And a lot of people are surprised to hear that, though, that in this day and age, in this community, there's such a need for literacy services for adults. We know that about 1 in 5 adults in Guilford County is struggling with basic literacy skills. That equates to about 70,000 of our friends and neighbors, many of whom you would never know were struggling with day-to-day literacy. There's an activity I like to do when I speak with groups like this, but since this is very early in the morning, I'm not going to risk having you close your eyes and picture something with me. But I do want you to think about what 70,000 people really looks like. That's enough to fill the Greensboro Coliseum with people 3 times. That's the number of adults in Guilford County who are struggling to read their mail, write notes to their children's teachers, pick up a newspaper or an iPad, and see what's going on in the world. So you can imagine what kind of effects that has, not just on them, but on their families. We know that children who grow up in households with parents with low literacy are much less likely to finish high school. They're much more likely to spend the rest of their lives fighting against poverty. And they're also much more likely to be in poor health and to eventually wind up in the criminal justice system. So this is definitely a cyclical issue, it's an intergenerational issue, and that's really what Reading Connections is trying to address. We offer not just reading and writing these days, we also offer math literacy, we offer computer classes for adults, which is more and more important for anyone applying for a job these days. We host English classes for immigrants and refugees who want to improve their communication skills. We have family literacy classes that teach parents how to read more with their children at home so their children grow up ready for school and reading on grade level. And we've also begun offering classes in the Greensboro Detention Center. We know that when inmates are exposed to educational programs while they're still incarcerated, they become much less likely to reoffend in the future. The really most incredible thing about these programs is that they're all offered at absolutely no cost to the students. And that's possible because of the incredible support we have from our community. Reading Connections couldn't do any of the work that we do without the support of volunteers and donors and all the people in the county who are supporting our mission. Reading Connections is, like I said, celebrating our 25th year. I personally am celebrating my 5th year with Reading Connections. And this morning I'm going to tell you about one of our students who's been a really inspirational person for me to watch over those 5 years. When I first started at Reading Connections, I had the pleasure of meeting a new student named Natalie. She was coming into our program as a young woman. She was very hesitant to get started, and I got to do a one-on-one orientation session with her, trying to encourage her to join the program, get involved with what we had going on. To give you a little bit of her background, Natalie had gone through most of school with a learning disability that had been either unnoticed or undiagnosed, had gone unaddressed. And one of the ways that affected her was she really struggled with timed testing, which, if you know anything about our school system these days, if you struggle with timed testing, you're going to struggle. And so after middle school, she had decided she had had enough and dropped out. Several years down the road, she found herself here in Guilford County, a single mother with 2 children who was really struggling to make ends meet. Because if you don't have a high school diploma or GED, there aren't many jobs you qualify for. And especially not many jobs you qualify for that will make it possible for you to support 2 small children. So Natalie had come to us looking for a way to improve her education so that she could improve the life she was offering her children. We did some testing with her, we talked about her goals, and what we found was she was incredibly bright. She had a very well-developed, eloquent vocabulary. She could write beautifully, but she struggled to show on a reading test or a math test just how smart she really was. She was facing barriers related to showing her comprehension skills. And so the results of the test were showing us that she could only do math on about a 4th grade level. She could only read and comprehend on a 5th grade level, but we knew she was much smarter than that. So we enrolled her in some classes. She started meeting not just with a math class twice a week, she also got a reading tutor to meet with her one-on-one each week. She also enrolled in one of our family literacy classes so that she could learn more parenting skills and how to read more with her children at home, and encourage them to really love reading as they were growing up. So here we are 5 years later, and I'm happy to share with you that her math skills have gone from a 4th grade level to an 11th grade level. And her reading skills have gone from a 5th grade level to a 12th grade level. And so what this means is Natalie's next step is taking her GED exam, which is incredibly exciting, probably a bit of a relief for her and everyone who's been supporting her over these last 5 years. But it's not just going to mean getting her GED. It's going to mean she can finally be the mom she wants to be. It means that her 2 sons are going to have a very different life than the one they would have had if she had not come to Reading Connections. And that's part of that cycle I told you we're trying to break. We're trying to stop this ongoing cycle of low literacy, poverty, and criminal justice. We're trying to intervene as early as we can and get as many adults into our program as we can. So I want to say thank you for the support you've given us. With the support of generous people like you, we're able to help not just Natalie, but Natalie's family and many other families just like hers. So thank you very much.
If someone's interested in volunteering, how often do people volunteer? Where are you located? That kind of thing.
Of course. We have 2 offices now. Our main office is here in downtown Greensboro in the Self-Help Building. We also have an office in High Point that operates out of the High Point Public Library. We are always looking for new volunteers. Our volunteer tutors do not have to have any teaching background because we provide all the training, we provide the curriculum. We offer tutor training every month. It alternates between Greensboro and High Point, mornings and evenings. There's information on our website, our Facebook page. I'm happy to give you my business card if you have more questions. We do ask that all of our tutors commit to at least 1 year of service with us. And if that's, I know that's hard to plan out for an entire year, so if that's a bit too much of a commitment, we're also looking for volunteer co-tutors, office volunteers. There are a myriad of ways that we use volunteers in our program. Yes.
Well, very appropriate today. I'm sorry, we have one more question.
I was glad to hear that your program includes refugees. And how do you coordinate between ESL and your program, reading program?
So our program overall is made up of about 50% native English speakers, many of whom are from this area, and about 50% immigrants and refugees who are improving their English skills. We try really hard to maintain that balance. Depending on a person's educational background, language background, they'll usually end up in one of those 2 programs where we offer them basic reading and writing, math, as though they're a native speaker, or we offer them English as a second language type courses. We do have many students who move on from our English courses into our regular program. As their English skills improve, they can become considered almost like a native speaker in our other programs.
I was just going to say, I don't know if anyone saw the recent article in the magazine, the Rotary magazine, that comes out about a gentleman who, forgot what area the country he's in, but he was a successful business owner, I would say maybe in his early 60s. See that, Chip? Somebody else, so I'm not the only guy who sees the boring enough life to read the magazine. So really, I think it was recent. Sometimes they pile up on me and I go back in December, I'm not real sure, but if you get a chance to go back and see, it's a fascinating article. I even shared it with my kids because from the outside, it seemed a very successful business owner, and then he was in a Rotary group, was asked to take a leadership position, and that's when that's when it basically came out, with a story that, that you couldn't read. So it was a fascinating story and interesting for, like I said, a good lesson for my kids to see too, that things aren't always as they appear.
Thank you this morning. We're going to give a book, surprisingly enough, in your honor to Cone Elementary, so thank you again for coming. We have one more job for you. We need you to participate in the illegal raffle. If you would draw a ticket and read the last three numbers, please.
The last three?
Yep.
611.
611? Buster. Buster, you must be present to win. Howard.